Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss living documentation, and this is to resolve a problem of costly maintenance, legacy systems being hard to maintain and evolve and improve, delayed releases, all that frustrates the customers, end users and the employees together for no fault of theirs. So it has been seen that specifications and the implementation typically keeps on getting mismatched as the product evolves. One of the solution can be to use specification by example as a technique where we use living documentation as it's the mature state where we are not only capturing the specification or the test cases, but we are also capturing all the contextual information. Also, the information has to be in the language of the end user, which is non-tech. So ideally, that system or those specification can be used to build or rebuild the entire system from scratch with customer being satisfied at the end. So we'll see that today with an example of our time to text converter. Here we will be using a Python based system that we will use to directly edit the specification and commit them to our source repository. We will use our specification to be developed in a format that is supported by robot framework, that is a testing tool which directly takes the specification and subject them to test, and we will be evolving the condition of satisfaction as our test cases. So the moment we commit our specifications to the repository, our continuous integration tool Jenkins that will pick up and start validating it using the robot framework and the solution that we will develop in Java. So let's take a quick look at the specifications. So you can see in the specification, just for example, we have done some formatting, some headings and some text and also some images, and you can also have some videos. So the idea is to build all the context in and developing the specifications in the language that the end users understand, not the technical language. There should be no element of the solution in the specification. That is the idea. So now let's move ahead to the next step, which is updating the specifications to include conditions of satisfaction. So we'll use this edit page here, and these are our conditions of satisfaction. We have captured only two cases here, for example, which is handling of 0 minutes and handling of 15 minutes. As you can see, if you read it, something like, so what we are saying is handling of 0 minutes, and what we want to do, we want to validate time converted to text. And what do we want to validate? If it is the hour is supplied as 5 and minute is supplied as 0, then we must see 5 o'clock. And this is irrespective of the language or the platform or the tool that you use to implement. Irrespective of the technology you use, this specification is going to be the same. And this is the trick here, that we will use these specifications as condition of satisfaction, and we will commit them to our source code repository using our Python based tool, and our robot framework would use this specification as is to validate whether the specification matches the product. So the moment we commit our Jenkins, which is our CI continuous integration tool, that would kick off a validation that we typically call the build, and that fails, and then we can see the failure reasons, and you will figure out that all the two test cases are failing. Let's see why the test cases are failing. That's really it. So validate time converted to text is not found. That's what we used in our specification. So now we should be implementing the keywords and the system. But before that, let's take a look at how robot framework supports implementing the keywords and the test cases. So in this example, we have a test called my test, where we are using a keyword called my keyword, which is actually coming from the its own keyword, which is your user keyword. And They're also using the keywords like said directory should exist, which is coming from the library operating system. Similarly, you can have your keywords coming from library, and you can have your own user keywords which you can have in HTML or also in the libraries of your choice. It can be the Python or Java, and there may be some other languages, right, which it may support. It's not about the tool here, but it's about the concept. So now we are going to evolve our keywords and the system. So moving ahead, so we, in our specification itself, we added this developer area where we are having a keyword validate time converted to text, which is actually calling a keyword get time in text that is coming from the Java library. And this Java library is actually now implementing a test, this keyword, a kind of a skeleton, which is not yet implemented. It says throw new exception, keyword not yet implemented. And the moment you commit this code, our continuous integration tool Jenkins picks it up, completes a validation, and reports a failure. And you can see that keyword not yet implemented is reported as the reason of the failure. Now moving ahead, we'll do the actual implementation. You can see we implemented a time converter, that we created the object of time converter, called this function of get time in text from time converter, pass it hour a minute, and returned it back to the caller, which is going to be our the robot framework where that will use our specification. And this is our implementation where we have implemented. And let's see, the moment we commit our code, what happens. You will see both the test cases are successful. So this gives a significant advantage anytime the specification change or the product starts mismatching. The these tests or validations would start failing, and that would be an opportunity to either correct the implementation or the specification, giving them bringing them back to match. Now, having the contextual information, the capability to provide contextual information like images, videos, and additional supportive text, hyperlink, navigation, all this allows people to go back in time and have the full context as they start maintaining and improving the system. So this is really a wonderful thing to do, and I hope you enjoyed this. So if you like the video, keep subscribe our YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep serving, and you can also visit our website launchpad.infinilearn.org. Till next time, bye bye. We'll come back with more interesting videos later. Thank you.